Guys, Roxxy Sims here, and I have another speed build for you today. Today I am building a frat house, so I hope you're ready to party, because this is definitely a party house. I personally have never been to a frat house party, but if what I see in TV and movies is true, they get pretty wild and crazy, and that is what I wanted to go for with this build. I wanted it to be kind of trashed from all the craziness that happens in it regularly. The style of this house is very much based on the kind of frat house that you would see close to like where I live, the college town that is closest to me. So it's not like a brick, Greek inspired, the columns. It's not that kind of a house. What I assume those houses are, these particular kinds of frat houses are, is just a big house that a fraternity bought and converted it into their frat house. So that's what I'm assuming those are, and that is really the style that I was wanting to go for with this. This really is a style of frat house that I see most often in real life. So I figure more in the South or the coast, they have those huge, grand, brick, Greek-inspired column kind of houses. But I'm from the Midwest, and we do have that, of course we do, just this is what I see most often, and even whenever I googled frat houses, this is the style that came up quite often. So, and I wanted to do something just different from my sorority house, because I went the very classic look for my sorority, kind of ritzy and things like that, and I wanted to just do something a bit different for the fraternity house. As I start landscaping around this place, I do put some overgrown kind of bushes and things like that, but for the most part I do keep the outside not looking too worn down, too beat up, or anything like that. I didn't want to put a lot of trash on the outside, mainly because I know that fraternities and sororities that are associated with universities, those universities have standards for those fraternities and sororities. So I would assume the University of Britechester, which that's the university that I associated this fraternity with, I would assume they would have some standards, like you can't have the place completely trashed. So I saved the completely trashed for the inside. So it is the inside that it has a lot more wear and tear. But other than these banners and stuff like that, the overgrown bushes, I kept the outside looking pretty good. Because while this fraternity really like to party, really like to have a good time, they also don't want to be forced to disband or anything. Because I have heard of universities doing that when a frat or a sorority gets a little too crazy. So, they're trying to put the face on of like, oh, we're a very respectable kind of fraternity, and then they keep all the craziness on the inside. I did place this fraternity in the town area of Britechester rather than putting it on a campus, and because I wanted the sorority and the fraternity to be right next to each other so they can get into lots of shenanigans and you can play out some cool stories like that. So I wanted to keep them together. So if you did decide that you want this fraternity to be a Foxbury Institute fraternity, that can easily be done. It's not like you have to move it or anything. All you'd have to do really is just change the swatches of the banners and the posters and things. It's really not too much you'd have to change to make it a Foxbury fraternity, so yeah, not a big deal if you would like to do that. Since this is the house that I'm going to be using for lots of crazy college parties, I definitely wanted to put lots of things in it that would be great for a party. So I have a DJ booth and I have stereos kind of all over the place, and a ping pong table and a dartboard. And what else? There's video game consoles everywhere. A bar, of course. A keg. I think I've got everything that you need to have a crazy university party. And since we have the new roommate system, you can have up to 10 Sims living in a house. So I have 10 beds. You can completely fill it up if you would like. If you would like to kind of control all the people, you still can only have 8 Sims in the house. So there's a couple bedrooms that have 3 beds in it, so you can just take out the extra bed in each of those rooms, and then you have perfect house for 8 Sims if you want to control all of them. Right now, I am placing carpet in all of the bedrooms, and what was it? I think it was Strangerville. We got this, I think it's like a rug, technically a rug, but it looks like a stain on the floor. So I really like the fact that I could add those stains to the carpet in the bedrooms, because come on, carpet in a frat house can't be that sanitary. And so I put stains in like all over the carpet. I'm sure they're spilling lots of food and drinks and stuff in there, so had to have stains everywhere in there. I thought about painting all of the walls a green, like a dark green color, so that it could be very Britechester University. But I decided to go with like a navy blue one, because it's very masculine kind of color, but also because I wanted it to be super easy if you wanted this to be a Foxbury Institute fraternity. So I didn't want it to be everything green in there, so I just went with blue, and that can work for either university, and that way you only have to change the posters and whatnot. I kind of tried to pick just like the dingiest options that were available to me. So this linoleum I think is also from Strangerville, and it just already looks dirty. You don't even have to add anything to it, and I love that. And these those wood floors, those might be from Strangerville too, are they? I can't remember. They're the Wild West floors, and those are pretty dingy as well. So I just wanted everything to look just a bit worn down, just like everything kind of needs to be replaced in there. I also really wanted the place to look like maybe there had just been a party last night. So there are cans and cups and just stuff kind of everywhere, all over the place. Or maybe the place is just kind of like in a constant state of party. Either way, I just wanted it to look like a wreck. There's pizza boxes and like liquor bottles like all over. Sorry, juice bottles all over the place. Later, I also put a few coolers around the place, because too many drinks brought in to just fit all in the fridge, and you gotta have easy access to drinks everywhere in the house. So I put a couple of those, and I put like a mini fridge in one of the bedrooms upstairs, and I love that like dingy floral couch. I think it's from City Living. I put that in pretty much every build that's supposed to be really run down. It's great. I wish we had more rundown furniture. I like that they're adding more of it. I love that palette coffee table. It was perfect for this. I knew that I had to have a living room big enough so that I could use that coffee table. And then this room is the dining room, but it's a frat house and they don't need a formal dining room, so they have just the table in the kitchen, so that the dining room can be used for the all-important ping pong table, for juice pong. That's a very important part of a frat house, I would assume. And then in this room over in the corner, I kind of have it to where maybe at the party last night, somebody kind of went a little crazy with a spray paint can, and just they spray painted the floor and the walls a little bit. So I had a little fun just coming up with like crazy little stories about how this got messed up or that got messed up. Something that I really wish that we had in this game are those blinds. They're kind of like the ones that we really do have in the game, that I have in the dining room there, but I want them to be different. I want them to not come out so far. They come out really far from the window, and it kind of messes with things, especially if I want to do the blinds like under some curtains. They're just so big, so I want them to be smaller. And I also want some blinds that aren't all the way pulled down, because I like having blinds on the windows, but I want them to be kind of up so that you can still see out the windows. I don't want the blinds to cover the entire thing, if that makes sense, so I wish we had some different blinds. That would be really great. I do think it'd be pretty fun to play out a story here. One of the stories that I was thinking of whenever I was building this is that I thought it would be fun if maybe you played a guy that is in this fraternity. He's going to college, but he's trying to balance everything. So, lots of schoolwork, trying to get done with school, but also having a party like every other night. Balancing having a really big social life, but also going to school. I think that'd be, a fun thing to play out. Oh, do you remember just a little bit ago when I said I was thinking up kind of crazy ways that was broken or this happened or whatnot? Well, one of these beds in this bedroom on the left, I put kind of like an air-up mattress, or like it's like a cot or something. And I was thinking up like, I really wanted to use that cot, and I thought, hey, it'd be a funny story if the guy, like during one of the parties, he was doing like playing with a lighter or something and like end up catching his bed on fire. So he has this just temporary bed until he can buy a real one. So he's just got to sleep on a cot. I thought that was a funny little story that I laughed about as I was building this. When I was doing the research for this, I was like looking up pictures of real life frat houses, and the bedrooms overwhelmingly in these frat houses are a wreck. And they all have lots of computers and video game consoles and TVs and just lots of activities to do in the bedrooms. So I wanted to make sure to have desks and TVs and all that stuff in all the bedrooms, and of course make them all very messy. Even though these guys share bedrooms, I still wanted the bedrooms to have, their personalities in it. And like one of the bedrooms, they are definitely more of like sports guys. And then one of the bedrooms, more like computer games and musician, like he has a guitar in there. And then one of them has more like TV console gaming. And then the last bedroom, the one that has like kind of the bay window, it's rounded. For some reason, I just think that's the bedroom with all the really fun guys in it. Like, I don't know why, but I feel like they're just like the party animals. I mean, I feel like everyone in the house is kind of party animals, but those are especially the party animals of the fraternity. I mean, that's the bedroom where the guy caught his bed on fire and now he's sleeping on a cot, so it's gotta be the fun ones, right? These lots in the town of Britechester are pretty small. They are only 20 by 15. So it was a little difficult to get everything I needed into this small of a lot. But I think I, accomplished it. I've got 3 bathrooms and enough room for the 10 beds. And I've got a little bit of outdoor space. Not a lot of yard, really, but there's a back porch. And I do get to put a hot tub, because perfect party house has to have a hot tub. So it's not a hot tub that you really want to go in, because think of how gross that hot tub would be. But it is there in case your sim wants to use it. Just to let you guys know, I did try to play test this because, a lot of times when you have just junk everywhere, sometimes your sims just can't get around it. They'll scream at you and say something's in the way. So everything that I could possibly think of to try, I did try, and it worked for me. So to my knowledge, it all works. I tried my very best to test everything I could. So, have you guys been able to really try out the gameplay of Discover University yet? I really want to know what you guys think. I have been hearing such great things about it, and even though I have had it for a bit, I always rebuild everything before I do any gameplay, so I haven't got to try any of it yet, but I'm so excited to try, and I've heard pretty much only good things. So that is very exciting stuff. Let me know like what you guys think about this pack. I can't wait to try it. I had fun thinking about all the personalities of these guys. Like, I thought of the guy who has this camo bed. I think he's totally into heavy metal. And maybe he even was in the military, or he wants to be in the military, or something like that, because the camo. And also, I put like military posters and stuff like that. But I got that, like, that cool amp that came with the Mosquito pack. That's one of my favorite things from the Mosquito pack is the guitar amps, because we have electric looking guitars, but none of them really have amps, so I was happy to get that. His roommate, the guy who's in the same room as him, and he has like 3 monitors for his computer, and he's like a more geeky type, really into computer games. And I figured for the sporty type bedroom, I figured all 3 of those guys could be on the soccer team, because now we have soccer teams, which is so cool. And so I have soccer posters all over the place. This is what I'm doing right here. I'm putting all this like debug clutter stuff, which I love putting that stuff in because I think it really makes it look realistic and filthy in there, and I love this stuff. If you do not know how to access the debug items, I highly suggest you look through them. It has so many awesome things. If you don't know how to do that, all you gotta do is type in the cheat bb.showhiddenitems, or bb.showhiddenobjects. And then also, if you put in the cheat bb.showLiveEditObjects, that like opens up way more items too. And there's just so many cool things to go through in all of that section. And once you put in those cheats, the way that you find all of those objects is that you type in the word debug into the search bar. And I'm telling you, there is a plethora of things to look through, and I just adore it, and I'm so glad that they keep adding more stuff to that list. Placing that pizza down actually reminded me something that I'm excited about with Discover University is we have new pizzas, new pizza types. So I don't know why that's so exciting, but it is. I love like ordering in pizza, and I wish we had more options. Like I wish we had, Chinese and stuff to order in. That would be really cool. Whenever I heard about Discover University coming out, I always start planning the things that I'm going to build. And I didn't know about the new pizza. So I was like, oh, well, I've definitely got to build a pizza place for college students, obviously. But now that we have those new delivery pizza options, I guess I should build a different kind of restaurant because, really, you have all the access to the pizza, having it just delivered. So I thought, probably not going to use that to go out to. So instead, I'm going to do, I think, more of a modern vegan restaurant. I think that's what I've decided. I've never built a vegan or a vegetarian restaurant in The Sims before, so it's about time, and I think that would just be really fun. So yeah, I do think that is what I want to go with. So I don't know if any of you will, but if any one of you decides to make like all the guys that would be in this fraternity and then upload it to the gallery, please let me know, because I would love to see that. I think that would be so fun. I might end up making them. I don't know. Probably not. I'm so much more of a builder than a cast kind of person. So if any of you do, please let me know. Or if you decide to make the girls that go to the sorority next door. So if you make either one of those, I would love to see it. As I mentioned earlier, I myself have never been to a frat house party. Ever. And I'm sure I never will. But I've always wondered, like, what those are actually like. You know, because I only see them, like, in college movies. And how often are movies that realistic, you know? I mean, they could totally be like that. If you've been to some, tell me how those are. Because I want to know if they're really that crazy. But I really can't imagine living in a place like that. If they really are, like, do get that crazy and they have them all the time, man, I am not made for living in that kind of environment. I like being alone and having peace and quiet, you know, so not the place for me, but I definitely can see the appeal of it. It does seem very fun. But like whenever I was doing the research on it, I also saw some videos. It was like, here's a video of my crazy frat house, and then it would just be a bunch of guys doing shots and just pure chaos, really. I can't imagine living in all the chaos. Man, what would that do to your mind after a while? You know? Do they just have to go to a nice quiet coffee shop to get away from it all? Or, I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I need some quiet. That is for sure. So, as the day that I am recording this voiceover, it is the day after Thanksgiving, or I should say Harvest Fest, I guess. And that means today is Black Friday. And I was curious how many of you actually do the whole going out at, midnight and stuff and doing Black Friday shopping and all of that. Because I have not done that. I think I've done that maybe like 10 years ago, forever ago, and I guess I should explain a little bit what Black Friday even is for anyone who's not from the United States. But Black Friday is just like, it's the day after Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is always on a Thursday, so Black Friday is always the day after, and stores just have big sales, and some of them open at midnight, some of them open even on Thursday, and it's kind of a madhouse sometimes. If you ever watch any news about Black Friday sales, it shows a lot of craziness and like fights and pushing and stampeding pretty much. But I have got to say, I have never actually seen that in real life. It's been like, I don't know if I'm just lucky, or if it's maybe because I'm from such a small town, I don't know. But I've never seen anything like that. Like I said, Black Fridays have been a thing for a very long time, but the last time I went, it was very chill, very calm. Everyone was super orderly and just standing in line, just, oh, excuse me, very sweet to each other. So like I said, I don't know if I'm lucky or if it's just where I'm from, no clue, but I think that's probably the case for most of the country. I think it's overall pretty chill. I think it's not too bad. I think it's only occasionally where things need to calm down a little bit, That being said, I still don't do it. Like, there's a reason that the last time I did it was 10 years ago. That it's not worth it to me. It is really cold outside, and standing outside in the dark in lines, I've done it, and not that appealing to me. I also don't think the deals are nearly as good anymore. I feel like before they used to be better, and now since they aren't as good, no reason to do it, especially now that you can get like pretty much the same deals online, because before you could only get those deals if you were at the store like at midnight. And now you can pretty much get the same deals online, so why bother? I'll just stay at home in my jammies where it's warm and there's not a whole mob of people, and order my things. And even though I do that, I still don't normally get very many things on Black Friday. There are some really good sales on Sims packs, though. So if you don't have every Sim pack, check it out. I think they're like 50% off. And Cyber Monday is a really good time to look for sales on Sims packs. So yeah, highly suggest that. Unfortunately, I think it's a bit too soon for Discover University to be on sale because they always wait a little bit to put them on sale. But I think most, if not all, the other packs are on sale. So yeah, check it out. Man, placing the clutter in this place took me a while because there had to be lots of it, you know. There's gotta be stuff everywhere. I think there's only probably one tile, one cabinet tile in the kitchen that is not full of stuff. I had to leave one of them empty because, you know, you need to be able to still use the kitchen if you live here. So I made sure to leave one of them empty, but I pretty much tried to just dirty this place up, fill it up with a bunch of junk. It's kind of nice when you're making these like junky builds because sometimes it is really hard to make the like perfect matching colors, the color scheme matching throughout the whole house. That's kind of hard sometimes in The Sims without a color wheel. So, hey, it's nice with this because nothing has to match. It's not supposed to match, so it does make things a bit easier. Well, guys, we are pretty much done with this build. I just want to say thank you so much for watching. It really means the world to me. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And I hope to talk to you all again very soon. Bye, everybody!
Perfect.